investment pipeline stands at $14 billion, covering 45 active projects and the potential creation of more than 5,600 jobs. Speaking during the Ministry of Trade's one-year performance report, he said they are working closely with investors and stakeholders to move those projects toward firm investment commitments. He added that several projects already in the pipeline could generate nearly 1,000 jobs. Mr. Allen noted that Global TT remains focused on meeting its investment targets, including $3 billion over the next 2 years and $9 billion within 5 years.
61% of these opportunities are foreign direct investment, while 39% are local direct investment, which really demonstrates the importance of supporting domestic investment to the Ministry of Trade, Investment and Tourism's plans. We have also moved 8 projects into committed status, primarily in the manufacturing and the hotel development sectors.
He said the Trade Ministry aims to reposition underutilized state assets as viable investment opportunities. More than 100 such assets have been identified, with Mr. Allen confirming that 15 have already been shortlisted and prioritized for investment.
Today, we are positioning these as catalysts for investment and growth. Over 100 assets have been identified. 15 of those assets have already been shortlisted and prioritized for investment focus. And importantly, engagement has commenced with the Office of the Procurement Regulator to ensure compliance and transparency.
In other news, a group of protesters was cleared from outside the office of the Director of Public Prosecutions on Wednesday afternoon after police intervened. Authorities once again urged members of the public to exercise their right to peaceful protest responsibly, emphasizing that all required procedures and guidelines must be followed to ensure safety and order.
Again, I want to stress that the police service is always empathetic when there is loss of life. Because, as we all know, this is as a result of a loss of life that took place some weeks or months ago. And we empathize with it. And all we are asking the persons, the participants in this particular event is to let the process take its course. Trust the process.
Assistant Commissioner of Police Garvin Henry said the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service is not opposed to peaceful protest once it is carried out within the law.
So once the proper channels, guided by the law, because we are creatures of statute, we will respect the law. Once that is done, right, I cannot see we have no lawful authority to stop it. Once the lawful process is followed.
ACP Henry explained that Wednesday's protest was dispersed since no prior notice was submitted to the police. Meanwhile, TTPS legal officer Noble Smith outlined the procedure required to host a protest.
Simple one. It's an application to the Office of the Commissioner, not less than 48 hours before you do the protest or your march, as the case might be, and so he acknowledges yea or nay accordingly.
In some sport news now, under the bright call of national pride, 25-year-old Judah Garcia returns to Trinidad and Tobago senior men's team, reigniting his journey ahead of the clash with South Korea. Brother to Captain Levi Garcia, his path has taken him through Greece and Albania, shaping his craft along the way. Now, after time away, Judah steps back into the red, white and black with renewed fire, hungry, hopeful and ready to leave his mark once more.
For me, it's always a pleasure to represent the red, white and black, to represent the country. And I'm just excited to be back, man. For me personally, I've been around with a lot of challenging international games, so it's not something new to me. I think it's games to challenge a bunch of guys to really go out and show that we could play against opponents outside of our region.
And that's what's making the news this morning. Joining us right now, though, is Virmala Balkaran, the host of Trinidad and Tobago Today. Good morning, Virmala.
Good morning, Carrie. Happy Thursday. How are you today?
Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. I am good. I'm a little bit slightly better than yesterday, so I feel a little relieved.
Well, we're making it one day at a time. We're almost there. I can
Almost there, step by
almost
step.
feel it. So what did you do yesterday? I understand that you've been shooting some features this week.
Oh, no, I'm shooting one today. So I'm going
today.
down in the Southland, Kwaito. I am from South, so I could say that.
Right. So
But yes, we have more exciting things planned.
Any hints where you might be going?
Let's see. Trinidad and Tobago is known for sand, sea, and sun. So there'll be definitely 2, sand and sea. Well, let's see how the weather goes and know if we'll have some sun as well. Hopefully we do, because the rainy weather does not make for good shooting.
Yeah, I like to insert myself in these plans, but after the last time, I'm okay. Have a great time.
But we had such a great time that time
we did.
went.
Yeah, we really did have a good time.
And you didn't have to hike anywhere.
No, that was that was how I negotiated with this. If I don't have to hike, then we're totally okay.
Right, we're not hiking today?
Yeah, well, Carrie, the weather has been really beautiful. It's been a little bit warm, but also some showers here and there. So hopefully that'll be good for you today. And we always get to check in with Zaina to find out what the weather is going to be like throughout the day.
Oh, yes, of course.
Yeah. Well, Carrie, today is actually World Hunger Day. And as you know, hunger is definitely not inevitable. So today really celebrates all the contributions that we make, the hands that plant seeds, all the efforts for food security, all the farmers, all the local vendors, everybody contributing to ensure that we, are not hungry. We celebrate those people.
Yeah, that's right. And you know what's an important part of the entire ecosystem around our food? This is maybe a little left field, but you see bees. We need to do more in the world, really, to preserve bee populations, because they are the main pollinators of a lot of the food that we eat. If bees go, so do we.
Yeah, last weekend, I think there was an event centered around honey and bees, and it just goes to show that we're becoming a lot more aware as a society. So I love that for us. I'm very afraid of bees. I'm not afraid to say that. I'm very scared of bees, and actually any of those insects that may fly and can leave a little lasting impact.
Yeah, like the bees I don't mind too much, because they have a purpose and they're beneficial. You see wasp though, and I'm using Trini word. You see Jep? Yeah, okay. Jep and I, we're not friends. We're not friends whatsoever.
Have you ever gotten stung?
Many times. I was traumatized as a child. That's another story for another day.
Yes.
But there are many things. I will climb a mountain. I will jump out of a plane.
Right.
I will, if there's a snake or something, I'm not afraid of that. Okay. You see Jack Spaniard?
Yes.
I am ducking, running, and hiding. The one thing I fear.
I'm not too sure if you did this growing up, but I remember my grandparents would say if you got stung by it, you take your hair and you rub it on it.
Your hair? Okay.
Yeah. If anyone
I know about toothpaste.
If anyone knows about that, please let us know. But they used to say take your hair and rub it on it, and it would help the stinger to come out of it.
That's something that wouldn't benefit me whatsoever, Virmala.
Oh, wow. Well, hopefully you have someone like me around, so you have some hair at your disposal.
Well, they said they're not coming anywhere today, so,
Well, maybe for another time. But if anyone has heard that before, please let us know. But yes, as we continue to observe... Yes, as we continue to observe World Hunger Day, thank you to all the farmers, especially this morning, going out there every single day and really braving the weather conditions. Also, a lot of different things have been happening. People are, stealing crops and all that.
Yes, a lot of challenges.
Let's just say, yeah, food security has definitely been a challenge, and I can see that we're doing so much more. And to all the young people, agriculture is a beautiful profession. It's a beautiful thing.
That's right, and we have technology now as well, so it is not as backbreaking as it used to be in times past.
Yeah, as much as I really do not have a green thumb, as you said, we have brown thumbs. I might try. It's Corpus Christi is coming up. I got a gift from the ministry a few years ago. I think it was a nutmeg tree. I am sad to say, ladies and gentlemen, that nutmeg tree is still in its original form in the dirt. It has not done anything. So I think that's a me problem. Yeah, it's not growing.
Well, that would also be a me problem, because I don't have so much luck with the plants.
Yeah, well, you know what? I guess we're sharing that luck this morning. Well, Carrie, today is Tobago Thursday on the show, so you know what we have. A full show planned with all things Tobago, and a little later on, we talk a little bit about fashion on Trinidad and Tobago today. So we'll talk soon.
So much to look forward to, as usual. Thanks so much, Virmala.
You're welcome, Carrie.
Have a good one. When we come back, the Trinidad and Tobago Today morning show gets going right after this break.
Your news, anytime, anywhere. TTT News brings you the facts that matter most, on air and online. TTT News, nightly at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
You are dearer to me than all the stars. So many wish but never reach. When I'm falling and all the world seems dark, you help me find my peace. Oh, shun mi ba vijani. Oh, shun mi ba yeah. Oh, shun mi ba vijani. Arubita.
I'm Jamila Bannister, host of the Socially Safe podcast, the new TTPS podcast where we share real stories, teach real lessons, and create real impact. From online safety and youth crime to community policing and personal responsibility, we go beyond the headlines and talk about what's happening in our communities with the officers and experts who are on the front lines. Because safety starts with awareness, conversation, and action. Tune in to the Socially Safe podcast on the TTPS YouTube channel. Listen on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. Don't miss it.
Watch on TTT, Mondays 6 p.m, Tuesdays 1:10 p.m.
Bestie lagi? Wala kitna ka? This one is only 1,31,900 rupees. क्या बात कर रहे हो यार? 1,31,900 रुपए का फोन? इतने में तो हमारे यहाँ एक शादी, 2 मुंडन और पूरे मोहल्ले के बच्चों का हैप्पी बर्थडे हो जाता है, वो भी ऑर्केस्ट्रा के साथ।
Your world moves fast, so do we. TTT News brings you the people, events, and issues that matter most. Stay informed, stay ahead. TTT News, every night at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
Thursday, 28th May 2026. The time now, it is 6:13 a.m. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago and the world. I'm Virmala Balkaran, and welcome to Trinidad and Tobago Today. Let's take a look now at what's trending this morning. Well, Prime Minister Kamla Prasad-Bisesa is doubling down on support for the police and state of emergency regulations while criticizing protesters who gathered outside the DPP's office yesterday. In response to another media house, the Prime Minister said the demonstrations were intended to provoke officers and create controversy. She questioned why protesters have not mobilized against violent crime over the last decade, pointing to the country's murder rate. And the Prime Minister is defending police actions, warning that while citizens can protest, they must do so within the law. And a High Court judge was told jet ski operators in Tobago to consider moving away from Pigeon Point Heritage Park when launching their watercraft. During a virtual hearing, Justice Sherland Pierre said that the site cannot be the only option, suggesting operators modernize their business and use social media, partnerships, and even other locations. The remarks come as a temporary injunction remains in place following the fatal jet ski accident in April that claimed the life of 7-year-old Angelica Jogi. The matter continues today. And remember earlier this week, we told you you'd hear more from Denise Belfon following Drake's sample of her 1998 hit Back Into It. Well, if you missed that interview, check out the Trinidad and Tobago social media pages. Now, the veteran soca artist says she is emotionally shattered after her niece and nephew were killed while calling for an end to violence and a return to stronger moral values, including prayer, fasting, and more structured activities in schools. Belfon also says family is turning pain into power, launching a food drive in memory of her niece, Jelena Armstrong, to support, of course, families in need. Donations can be dropped off at Fitz by Brits in St. James, Nails by Whitney Narima, and Executive Restaurant and Bar on Henry Street, Port of Spain. Donations close tomorrow, May 29th. 2026. Well, it is Tobago Thursday on the show today, so we'll head to Tobago Carnival mode as the official launch gets underway. And later on, did you know that there is an app where you can track PTSD buses in real time and even purchase your tickets? We'll tell you more about all of that. It's Tobago Thursday, so grab your cup of coffee and settle in quick. Trinidad and Tobago Today has begun.
Being connected, it means a lot because, first of all, you can't do this by yourself.
When you have your phone, you always have somebody at your side. I could call for help, anything going like, you know.
You know, I'm giving children the opportunity to experience outside of their neighborhood.
Digital is kind of a comfort, you know, you feel good that people in your lives are always able to be contacted.
I was with the other network and I was having problems, so I joined Digicel and I never regretted it.
The Emancipation Support Committee of Trinidad and Tobago presents IWA Africa 2026, a flair for freedom, a fashion odyssey weaving African consciousness through style. Directed by Richard Young at the Winifred Atwell Auditorium, Queen's Hall, St. Anne's. Sunday, 7th June 2026, 4 p.m. prelude, 5 p.m. presentation, 7 p.m. pavilion. Igniting African consciousness, dismantling colonial legacies, a flair for freedom. IWA Africa 2026.
Barcelona drawing a game, not winning their first set of game. Worried, concerned.
Emotional damage is fun to see.
What a wonderful finish.
You see any story? Let me come again, one more time.
Early prostate cancer has absolutely no signs or symptoms, and that's why we strongly push the men once a year, get out there and get screened with a digital rectal examination and a PSA, prostate-specific antigen, a blood test. Any PSA above 4 is abnormal. All men, once they hit 40 years of age, go and have that PSA test done.
Be viewing Caribbean Medical TV on this station.
Hi everybody, I am Leah.
And I'm Dion.
And we are
The Duncans.
Listen, we're here to tell you about a project the Lord has given to us called the Marriage Confessional. It is geared toward married couples, those that are on the road to marriage, and those that want to get married one day.
So join us on TTT and on Facebook and YouTube.
at TTT Live Online.
The Marriage Confessional, only on TTT.
Back to Tobago Thursday on Trinidad and Tobago Today. Well, with a focus on non-energy growth and economic transformation, the Ministry of Trade says it is working to build a more balanced, resilient economy. Minister Satyakama Maharaj says government is shifting from planning to execution with renewed emphasis on investment, imports, and ease of doing business. Faith Chariot reports.
During Wednesday's presentation of its one-year performance report, the Ministry of Trade, Investment and Tourism said a key priority has been restructuring its operations to better align with strategic goals. Minister Satyakama Maharaj acknowledged that persistent ease of doing business challenges continue to hinder investment, business expansion and national competitiveness.
The ministry has been actively engaging with relevant ministries, agencies and stakeholders to identify and address long-standing impediments, improve interagency coordination, reduce inefficiencies, and advance practical reforms aimed at creating a more efficient, responsive, and internationally competitive business environment.
He added that the ministry is now operating with clearer objectives, stronger accountability, and more coordinated execution.
Government does not create economic growth by itself. The entrepreneur creates growth. The investor creates growth. The exporter creates growth. The manufacturer creates growth. The private sector creates growth. The role of government is to facilitate growth, remove obstacles, coordinate national effort, and create the conditions for success.
The minister says its strategic focus includes expanding exports, attracting investment, transforming the tourism sector, improving ease of doing business, and strengthening local enterprises.
Today you heard not only about plans, but about systems already being implemented, reforms already underway, and measurable action already taking place. That is different. And perhaps most importantly, for the first time in a very long time, there's an alignment between government and the private sector.
The minister says the goal is to create a more competitive, diversified and sustainable economy by 2027, with further expansion targeted by 2030. Faith Chariot, TTT News.
A group of protesters was dispersed outside the office of the Director of Public Prosecutions on Wednesday afternoon. Police are again reminding the public that while a peaceful protest is a right, proper procedures must be followed. Daniel John has the details.
I want to stress that the police service is always empathetic when there is loss of life. Because as we all know, this is as a result of a loss of life that took place some weeks or months ago. And we empathize with it. And all we are asking the persons, the participants in this particular event is to let the process take its course. Trust the process.
Assistant Commissioner of Police Gavin Henry says the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service is not opposed to peaceful protests once it is carried out within the law.
So once the proper channels, guided by the law, because we are creatures of statute, we will respect the law. Once that is done, right, I cannot see we are no lawful authority to stop it. Once the lawful process is followed.
ACP Henry explained that Wednesday's protest was dispersed since no prior notice was submitted to the police.
It would have come to me. It would have come to me. And we have no fear, right, in examining a request and denying it, or acknowledging and allowing it to go on.
And that is the reason why.
Because if you know the history of Trinidad and Tobago is that how many protests we have had in this country.
Meanwhile, the TTPS's legal officer, Noble Smith, outlined the procedure required to host a protest.
So the process is really a simple one. It's an application to the Office of the Commissioner, not less than 48 hours before you do the protest or your march, as the case might be. And so he acknowledges yea or nay accordingly.
The police is reminding that it will dismantle any attempt to disrupt the normalcy or inconvenience the public. Daniel John, TTT News.
Or just an update on the hantavirus situation that we've been following over the past few weeks. Now, the outbreak, which was linked to the MV Hondias cruise ship, has risen to 13 cases after Spain has confirmed a new infection among the quarantined passengers. The WHO has said that 3 people have died, though no new deaths have been reported since May 2nd. We take a break, and when we come back, we continue with Tobago Thursday.
Every client deserves expertise, integrity, and guidance they can trust. At Camino Realty International, we deliver integrated real estate solutions, sales, rentals, property management, and project development. Driven by excellence, transparency, and innovation, we protect value, create opportunity, and build lasting success. Because real estate isn't just about buildings. For more information on our services, log on to CaminoRealty.com or follow us on social media at Camino Realty TT. Camino Realty International, elevating lives one property at a time.
Being connected, it means a lot because, first of all, you can't do this by yourself.
When you have your phone, you always have somebody at your side. I could call for help, anything going like,
You know, I'm giving children the opportunity to experience outside of their neighborhood.
Digicel is kind of a comfort, you feel good that people in your lives are always able to be contacted.
I was with the other network and I was having problems, so I joined Digicel. And I never regretted it.
What if possibility was only the beginning? Welcome to Limitless, a journey where ideas become action and action becomes impact. From breaking barriers and challenging misconceptions to designing with dignity and driving innovation with heart. This series explores how inclusion is moving from concept to community in Trinidad and Tobago. Across each episode, we meet the change makers and everyday leaders turning challenges into opportunity, building real solutions that change real lives, from possibility to impact. This is Limitless.
Ever wondered what happens before the lights come on? Before the crowd pours in? Before the magic hits the stage? This is your all-access pass. Sneak Peek with Junior K takes you behind the scenes of the biggest cultural moments and the hottest events across TNT. From the sound checks to the stage setups, from final rehearsals to exclusive interviews. If it's about to be big, we're already there. Catch Sneak Peek airing daily on TTT and relive every moment on all our social media platforms. Sneak Peek with Junior K, where the story starts before the spotlight.
Vibrant is waking up in Tobago, and it's carrying 5 years of rich cultural momentum. The iconic Pigeon Point Heritage Park will transform into a kaleidoscope of rhythm and color for the official launch of Tobago Carnival 2026, themed The Awakening. This year marks the 5th anniversary of the island's standalone October Festival, a milestone dedicated to Tobago's signature blend of mud, mass and music. With stakeholders, band leaders and revelers gearing up for the Sunset launch, the stage is being set to position Tobago as the ultimate late-season cultural destination. Well, joining us now to share what we can expect at tomorrow's launch is the Chief Executive Officer of the Tobago Festivals Commission Limited, Mr. Kieran Cowan. Good morning, Mr. Cowan, and welcome to the program.
Pleasant good morning to you. It's so good to be here to talk with you today.
So, Mr. Cowan, congratulations on reaching this 5-year milestone for Tobago's October Carnival. And this year, the theme is The Awakening. So talk to us about the inspiration behind this theme and how this 5th anniversary edition aims to really elevate the festival beyond what we've seen in previous years.
I think you use the right word, elevate. And that's what the whole story behind The Awakening. It's all about the elevation of our culture, the expansion of our reach, and the invitation to the world to know that Tobago is alive, it's awakened, and we are here to be what we are, that cultural melting pot that everybody can experience something unique.
Now, the launch takes place tomorrow at 4 p.m. at Pigeon Point Heritage Park. So it's open and free to the public, right? So what can attendees expect when the sun goes down? Will we be seeing a showcase of the 2026 costume design? What about steel pan? Any local soca acts right out of the gate?
The Awakening tomorrow is almost a production style energy from 4 p.m. all the way to midnight. There is no part to miss. From 4 to 6 is what we call the rhythm yard, where you will see the actual boiling of the mud and how the mud is really enhanced, and the whole production and how the elements of the pan come together all into one rollout. And then, of course, as the sun comes down and then the elements come together of the traditional mass and the muku jumbies and the fire breathers, then now we unveil the official. This is the opening. This is the carnival. The declaration of the carnival begins then, and the rallying call for all our diaspora across the world to pay attention, to log in, to register, to come on board. That is where it begins, and then we go all the way into the evening, where we now start to unveil our Soca Titan winners. Verse, Kidani, Tam Tam, they take the stage. And then, of course, the massive display of our iconic mass across Tobago from TOCA, who is our Tobago October Carnival Association. All our carnival members, all our carnival bands, they are on display. And then from there, we go into this massive Soca rave with all our big headliners crowning the entire evening with Bungie Garlin and Faye and Lions. Truly something not to miss. Every participant that is going to be there will experience the elements of the carnival and how it really is to be, how it is to be experienced, on the October space. So you don't want to miss what that would be and how that would feel, because it starts here at the Awakening on Friday.
Now, you are launching in late May, so that is giving you a solid 5-month runway before the actual festival at the end of October. So what is the Commission's specific global marketing strategy this year to ensure that the Awakening captures the attention of international carnival chasers and, of course, diasporic travelers?
So we had a different marketing strategy this year, which we started all the way back in January of this year. We, of course, unveiled in a national carnival in Trinidad, working with Spirit Mass and different other mass elements, and even into the various events. This year, once we launch, we take it to the roads. So we do have different promotions that we are doing in New York, Toronto, right back into Trinidad and across the region, that we are able to now really expand our visibility and, as I said before, awaken the elements of our culture in the various spaces across the world. So we do have targeted approaches to what is to be expected, and you will see us across all platforms in the international space, regional spaces, online, social media. We are doing a full enhancement of our promotional push.
Now, a recurring talking point for any major Tobago event is transport infrastructure. So, Mr. Cowan, is the Festivals Commission currently working alongside maybe Caribbean Airlines, even the Port Authority, to proactively secure increased seat capacity and also sailing for October 30th that weekend?
Wonderful question. Just recently, we have been having very intense dialogue with Caribbean Airlines. Just this week here, we were really working out our what we call our airlift plan and what our seat capacity can really move to. And one of the things I really try to lament with Caribbean Airlines is that the carnival is a season and it starts from October 1st and goes all the way down to November 6th. Because we want people here early and we want people here staying as long as possible. So we want to give them as much capacity to be here and much opportunities without the headache of wondering, assuming or standby, but giving them full access. And that doesn't only speak of the inter-island bridge, but it also speaks to international direct connections to Tobago, which is something that you will see coming out very soon. And we are working very closely with Caribbean Airlines, and we are excited to see what they can do. From the Port Authority side, Port Authority has always been one of our greatest supporters, and they continue to support us well. They will be increasing capacity. The conversation has already begun, and we will see how that will roll out in a couple days to come. And one of the things that we have benefited from this year is earlier planning, earlier execution, earlier promotion. So once all three elements come together, we are certain and we are assured that all things will come together much better for a much more improved experience for all, from travel to hotels to the experience of the outer carnival feel, because we want people to come to carnival, yes, but we want people to come to the island and experience all of it, the waterfall, the Pigeon Point, the Nyland Pool, all of it, the food is all part of the experience.
Mr. Cowan, I want to talk a little bit now about mud, mass, and music. And Tobago Carnival relies heavily on that unique community identity. So how is the Commission working with local mass bands, even Juve groups, pan sticks, promoters, all to ensure that, you have the financial and structural support needed to scale up the productions for the 5-year milestone?
From year one till now, the Tobago House of Assembly has continued to really support local groups, mass bands, and the very traditional groups themselves, both financially and logistically, to ensure that there is a solid product available to all. Our greatest numbers of participants come outside of Tobago. So it's important that the quality of what we do is really set to a place that is attractive. So there is an intent to ensure that the product grows well and the THA continues to invest locally within our bodies to ensure that they can provide and to support what they are putting out. And that is going to happen again this year. And we are expecting that, these groups will start to grow into a space where they become very self-sufficient, where the business model of the mass and the carnival in itself stands on its own to make itself profitable. Because what we want is not just to be there to be this consistent reliance on a handout, but to consider this investment a growth mechanism. And we are seeing that year on year, and we expect that it will continue to blossom just as we expect.
Now, in terms of logistics, I know that over the past few cycles, there have been various tweaks to the parade routes and the security logistics in Crown Point and Scarborough. So can you hint for us this morning at any maybe operational changes or even venue expansions that will be introduced for 2026 that might make that spectator and masquerader experience a little smoother?
Well, one good thing we can expect is that the routes will be consistent. We have gotten a route that is one of the best, that Calypso Rose Boulevard, which is that scenic sea route. Masqueraders love that. That remains where it's going to be, and that circuit is easier for for masqueraders to traverse that remains. We are going to focus on ensuring that the experience to cross a stage is something that's going to be well endowed this year and fully introduced. Spectator management is going to be a lot more integrated. We're going to give more to the spectators, super zones that will be strategically placed, management of the movement of people in and out of the Scarborough area. Those things are going to be enhanced, managed, and really overseen well. Our security forces really come out in their strength, and we always appreciate the TTPS's support. They don't just cover the route, they cover the entire island, and they themselves are doing their part as we speak. We will continue to ensure that securities across the board, even from the Coast Guards, they are also part of our support mechanism. So we are going to see those things really tighten, expanded. We are going to have our increased road marshal system and ban management. Those things are going to be put in place, and we continue to want to start on time and be able to manage the programming of the carnival route better in all aspects.
Well, my final question for you this morning, Mr. Cowan, is for our viewers who are watching and they haven't booked yet or they haven't registered with a Tobago Mass Band. What do you want to tell them ahead of tomorrow's launch?
Get ready. It's about to explode. It's awakening. It is time to get to the internet and register. Have you called that band as yet? Have you spoken to any of them as yet? Now is the time. Registration starts tomorrow at the awakening. So we are expecting a drove of people to register for their bands, get into the bands, book your tickets. Look for your hotels all now. I tell you, don't wait. Don't wait till October to figure it out. Don't wait till September. Plan now. We are working to ensure that everybody has the experience that they will not forget ever.
Thank you very much, Mr. Cowan, for joining us and talking all about that launch tomorrow. Have a great launch, have a great season, and we'll check in with you throughout to see how it's all shaping up.
Thank you so much. Looking forward to it.
All right. Have a good day. All right, bye-bye. That was Mr. Kern Cowan, the Chief Executive Officer of the Tobago Festivals Commission Limited, talking all about Tobago Carnival. That launch is taking place tomorrow in Tobago, and we'll bring you all the updates ball by ball on TTT. Of all the stories that you see here and more, follow us at TTT Live Online. If you have a story idea, a press release, or you want to collaborate with us, we'd love to hear from you. Simply contact us today at tttoday@ttt.co.tt. And you can be a part of the conversation that's shaping our nation. All our social media platforms are on the screen for you now. Follow us everywhere and keep up with us. Trinidad and Tobago Today, all the news you can trust and the stories that matter.
Honoring the beauty of Indian heritage, TTT invites you to immerse yourself in Desi May as we mark Indian Arrival Month with color, music, and magic of Indian cinema. Throughout May, enjoy your favorite Bollywood hits and timeless classics, from iconic blockbusters to treasured favorites, bringing the heart of India straight to your screen. Tune in every Saturday at 8:35 p.m. and every Sunday from 4 p.m. to experience rich traditions, captivating stories, and unforgettable characters that continue to inspire generations. Plus, watch, text, and get rewarded for our exciting viewer promotion. Desi May, celebrating Indian Arrival Month, exclusively on TTT.
Being connected, it means a lot because, first of all, you can't do this by yourself.
When you have your phone, you always have somebody at your side. I could call for help, anything going on, you know.
You know, I'm giving children the opportunity to experience outside of their neighborhood.
Digital is kind of a comfort, you know, you feel good that people in your lives are always able to be contacted.
I was with the other network, and I was having problems, so I joined Digicel, and I never regretted it.
I'm Renee Sion with another edition of Caribbean Week in Review.
Every morning begins with a story, the headlines you need, the voices you trust, the conversations shaping our nation. Welcome to Trinidad and Tobago Today, where your day starts informed and inspired. News that matters to you, conversations that spark new ideas, stories that move Trinidad and Tobago forward. Tune in weekdays, Monday to Friday at 6 a.m. or join the conversation on any smart device at TNT Today Show. Trinidad and Tobago Today. Start here, exclusively on TTT.
Barcelona drawing a game, not winning their first set of game. Worried, concerned?
Emotional damage is fantasy.
What a wonderful finish.
You see it, so let me come again, one more time.
Getting rid of large, broken-down household appliances can be a logistical nightmare for the average homeowner. Too often, this leads to illegal dumping that defaces Tobago's natural beauty and threatens its environment. The Tobago House of Assembly is stepping in to bridge that gap with a structured white waste collection drive. The division is asking residents across Tobago to move their bulk appliances to the curbside for safe transport to the Studley Park landfill. Here to break down the schedule and the rules of engagement for this cleanup drive is Public Health Inspector 4, Mr. Ricardo Bob. Good morning, Mr. Bob.
Good morning. Good morning. It's great to be on TTT today, and good morning, Trinidad and Tobago.
Well, thank you for joining us this morning. And, for the benefit of our viewers who may be unfamiliar with this term, let's start by establishing exactly what qualifies as white waste and what specific household items are your teams prepared to collect during this drive and what items are strictly excluded.
All right, that's wonderful. When you say white waste, you're looking at appliances like your fridges and stoves and so on. We live in a world that people may have lots of resources. They're always throwing out things and they may put it in the environment that can hold water to breed mosquitoes and so on. So we look to move those things. Now, what we don't want to move, construction material like old concrete and tiles and that kind of thing does not qualify. But we would remove things like your old galvanized and so on. Those are the things that we want to move because this is actually part of our vector control program. And we are approaching the rainy season and the mosquito vector requires water to breed. And this is why we do these campaigns, especially at these times, because we want to reduce the incidence of the breeding sites. So we will break a link in the chain of mosquito infestation.
Yeah. And I know that an old fridge on the side of the road isn't just ugly, but it is a health risk, as you were saying. It is the wet season and all that is arriving. So how do these large appliances really contribute to other diseases like dengue? And we have to continue to remove that cycle. So what would you say to our viewers this morning about that?
Yeah, definitely. Dengue fever, chikungunya, Zika, even they encourage the infestation of rodents as well. And rodents do spread disease as well. We have things like leptospirosis and rat bite fever, Q fever. And some people have heard of another one that is trending at the moment. The key thing is if we keep our environment clean, then we reduce the possibility of the proliferation of rodents and hence the transmission of disease. Besides that, it looks unsightly. And this is why we have this integrated approach to removing waste, and we are asking that the residents cooperate with us by bringing these items to the curbside, which means in front of your homes. What some people do is that they may leave it behind the wall, then we can't see it to remove it. And as such, we're asking you the day before, and we will announce the schedule in a bit. The day before, you bring it out, and even folks, they may be senior folks who may not have the capacity. We're asking the neighbors to assist them in bringing the stuff out, and we are going to take it up for you.
And let's talk about the schedule for the different zones now across Tobago. Which villages or districts should be prepping their curbsides this week?
All right, great. Now we've already started. We are on Thursday. So today we are in the north side. We started actually Charlottesville, Space Side, Dollarford, all those villages coming down Mount St. George in between Goodwood, right down to Bacolet. We did that on Monday, Tuesday. Now today is Thursday. We're in the north side. We're talking Lance Formie, Bloody Bay, Castara, Palatuve, Moriah. Across we go to Mount Thomas, Culloden, Golden Lane into Lake Oto, Plymouth. So we are targeting these areas today, Thursday, and tomorrow, Friday. And then next week, we are in the west side, and we're talking Crown Point, Canaan, Bonaccord, Mount Pleasant, Lowlands, Signal Hill, Patience Hill, Bethel, Spring Garden, all these areas, Scarborough. So even though you may not have heard your specific village, we're doing it in zones. As we said before, we started in the east side, Speyside, Charlottesville, all the way down to Mount St. George, Studley Park, and then we go across to the north side. That's starting today, and we're heading from Lance Formie all the way down to Moriah, all the villages in between, across Culloden, Woodlands, Lake Oto, Golden Lane, Plymouth. We're doing that today and tomorrow and next week, the 1st and the 2nd. We are in the west side, Crown Point, Bonaccord, all the way up to Lowlands, Scarborough, Signal Hill, Patience Hill, Bethel, all these areas. Now, I must say that one of the challenges we have is people putting the stuff out after. We want to avoid that, but we will take it up. And if you have stuff, you may need some assistance because some people may. And if you may see a street where maybe we have passed or we didn't pass because we have our folks on the ground doing surveillance, you can call 639-1433. The numbers are there on the screen, 639-1433. You can also call 3639-3855. You can call those numbers. And someone will be there to answer the phone and to take your information to get the stuff. Let me say as well, you don't always have to wait for the campaign. We actually have this as a service that we do every working day of the year, where you can call in at this same number, especially the 639-1433, and we will come to your residence, your premises, and collect your bulk white waste. I'll say it again. This is a service that we offer that you can call in 639-1433 outside of the campaign, and we will come to your premises and collect the white waste.
Mr. Babatunde, once these tons of heavy material and all electronics are picked up, I know they're transported now to the Studley Park landfill. How is the facility managing this heavy influx of bulk waste, and is there any mechanism in place maybe to recycle or even salvage these metals rather than just burying them?
All right, so we make special provisions at the landfill. We have engineered cells, so we have a separate area for all the bulk waste that is going to come in. So that's not mixed with the normal garbage. There is some downstream industry. We do have some folks, and this aspect is controlled at our landfill, that will remove certain components so we don't get them back into the environment, because this is one of our concerns. When we remove material, them getting back into the environment and creating or recreating a problem that we are trying to eliminate. And so there is some limited recycling at the landfill where certain components will be removed. What we don't have a structured way of dealing is at the moment is your e-waste. Your e-waste, but in terms of some of the metal components and so on, some of those are recycled.
All right, Mr. Bob, before we wrap up, I know that these cleanup campaigns are vital, but white waste remains and it accumulates year-round, and indiscriminate dumping definitely remains a persistent issue in Tobago. So what steps or penalties is the Public Health Department enforcing against individuals or commercial entities who are caught dumping appliances in unauthorized areas?
And that's a really good question. So here are some of the things that we actually do in Tobago. One of the things in the Public Health Department, we have started serving notices to folks wherever we see them. Even some people, when they do the scrap metal, what they do is they bring it back in the environment and it becomes unsightly. So we started working with them, serving notices for removal and cleaning up the environment. The next thing is that we're working really assiduously in terms of our litter prevention wardens. That's an important component, because one of the things in terms of the law is that you have to see people, catch people, and for that you need human resource to be able to police that system.
Yeah.
But even beyond that, the health education aspect, we educate people to understand and take care of the environment, because we are the ones that live here, and
Yes.
Tobago is purported to be clean and green. Folks love it. On the weekend, there are lots of people from Trinidad and all over that come to our island, and
That's
they're
right.
amazed, but we do have some hotspots
Take
that
care
we're
of your
dealing with.
environment. Absolutely, Mr. Bob. Take
Yes.
care of the environment.
Take care
Thank
of
you
the
very much for joining us this morning, Mr. Bob. We will definitely check in with you to see how the campaign is going a little later on. Have a great day.
I appreciate it, and you as well.
All right, thank you so much. We're talking all about white waste this morning from Tobago, that initiative that's happening. We take a break. The news is up next at the top of the hour. We come back inside hour number 2 of Tobago Thursday.
Hello everyone, I'm Pastor Lisa Singh from Heavenly Grace Ministries in New York, and I want to take this opportunity to invite you to join me right here every Sunday morning at 6:30 a.m. It has been a fantastic 2026 so far, and the Word of God has just been unraveling in ways that we can only imagine. So I don't want you to miss out. Remember, every Sunday morning, 6:30 a.m. right here. Looking forward to being with you.
Buried in the rhythm, hidden beneath the soil, sleeping within the spirit of Tobago, something awakens. On Friday, 29th May, Tobago Carnival 2026 awakens. Awaken to the sounds of mud, mass, music. From 4 p.m., the Pigeon Point Heritage Park transforms into the heartbeat of the island for the official launch of Tobago Carnival 2026. Witness the sunset ignite the sky as rhythm, color, and pure bacchanal energy consume the night. This is not just a launch. This is the awakening. Feel it, live it, be there. Tobago Carnival 2026. Mud, mass, music.
One day I was out playing with my friend Kevin, and he was really moody, kinda sad and angry at the same time. I asked him what was the matter. Someone in his family had been doing mean things to him. He said he had to keep it a secret. So I asked Kevin, is it a good secret or a bad secret? He said he didn't know. I explained good secrets are cool things like a surprise party or a gift for a special occasion. A bad secret is when someone hurts or harms you and tells you not to tell anyone. Sometimes they might give you little things to make sure you don't tell. That's another bad secret to keep. That's mean and controlling. Kevin said it definitely fell into the bad secret category. I felt this was something an adult should help with. Because as a child, when someone hurts you, you can feel really alone and afraid. And the best people to help you are the ones you love and really, really trust. I asked him if there was any adult that he trusted. So we worked up a little plan for Kevin to talk to one of them. A while after that, I could see my friend was doing much better. Now we tell all our pals about good secrets and bad secrets so that we can all feel brave, safe, and strong. Break the silence. Child abuse is one secret you should never keep.
TTT News, every night at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
Good morning, this is your TTT News Update. I'm Carrie Roberts. Making the news at this time. The government plans to increase tourism's share of the economy from 6% to 12% by 2030, targeting foreign exchange earnings of US $1.7 billion. Parliamentary Secretary Colin Gosine says government is adopting a rethink approach to diversify the economy, targeting sectors like ecotourism, yachting, culture, sports, business, and education, with plans to double yacht arrivals.
Thereafter, our target is to achieve 3,000 vessels arrival by 2030, an increase in foreign exchange earnings by US $200 million by 2030. The ministry is modernizing and the sector through technology and digital transformation. A system that is dear to my heart is the Sail Clear system, and it represents a major step forward in positioning Trinidad and Tobago as a modern maritime and trade hub.
President of the Marine Services Association of Trinidad and Tobago, Jesse James, says the reforms are long overdue and will boost activity in the sector.
Increase in foreign yacht arrivals to Trinidad and Tobago. We traditionally we know them as yachties. The more yachties come to Trinidad on those boats in the Chagramas there, guess what? More work, more foreign exchange, where it comes in live and direct in Chagramas for the foreign exchange, and which is what is a big drive of the government right now and for the economy and for people in general.
Mr. Gosine says 9 tourism accommodation projects are currently in the pipeline, expected to deliver around 577 new rooms and create approximately 741 permanent jobs. In more news, 24-year-old Shannon Miller was not called upon to plead when he appeared before a Scarborough magistrate on charges for the murder of his stepson, 2-year-old Angelo Tobias Plaza. Little Angelo was reported missing on May 11th from his home in Goodwood, Tobago, sparking a massive search on land and sea. His body was never found. The circumstances of the case raised many questions, deeply impacting citizens, and on Wednesday, all members of the Assembly Legislature issued statements regarding the need to rethink how society views the protection of children.
Confront the culture of silence and indifference that allows vulnerable children to remain at risk. What does it mean to be a sovereign, civilized nation, the greatest little island on the planet, if we cannot guarantee the safety of those who carry our future?
How did we allow ourselves to become disconnected from a culture of collective care?
If we are serious about protecting our children, ladies and gentlemen, then we must rebuild the community spirit that says, your child is my concern, and my child is your concern.
Chief Secretary Foley Augustine stated that the THA must move beyond reactive governance and propose the formation of the Tobago Child Protection and Support Initiative, which seeks to bring together all agencies working with children.
Too often, agencies operate in silos, while warning signs fall through cracks. That must change.
A sufficiency hearing in Angelo's murder case is expected to resume on November 30th at the Scarborough Magistrates Court. In some sport now, West Indies women are gearing up for a tri-series against Ireland and Pakistan, and Captain Hayley Matthews says the squad has one clear objective heading into the tournament, which doubles as World Cup preparation.
Yeah, it's going to be a really good test for us before the World Cup, but also to make sure we get any combinations right that we need to. And I guess getting players in the right positions, but also getting players understanding their roles, that when we do get into that World Cup, everyone's just able to execute.
And that's what's making the news at this time. After the break, Virmala is back with our number 2 of Trinidad and Tobago Today.
Every client deserves expertise, integrity, and guidance they can trust. At Camino Realty International, we deliver integrated real estate solutions, sales, rentals, property management, and project development. Driven by excellence, transparency, and innovation, we protect value, create opportunity, and build lasting success. Because real estate isn't just about buildings. For more information on our services, log on to CaminoRealty.com or follow us on social media at Camino Realty TT. Camino Realty International, elevating lives one property at a time.
Being connected, it means a lot because, first of all, you can't do this by yourself.
When you have your phone, you always have somebody at your side. I could call for help, anything going like,
You know, I'm giving children the opportunity to experience outside of their neighborhood.
Digital is kind of a comfort, you feel good that people in your lives are always able to be contacted.
I was with the other network and I was having problems, so I joined Digicel. And I never regretted it.
I'm Jamila Bannister, host of the Socially Safe podcast, the new TTPS podcast where we share real stories, teach real lessons, and create real impact. From online safety and youth crime to community policing and personal responsibility, we go beyond the headlines and talk about what's happening in our communities with the officers and experts who are on the front lines. Because safety starts with awareness, conversation, and action. Tune in to the Socially Safe podcast on the TTPS YouTube channel, listen on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. Don't miss it.
Watch on TTT, Mondays 6 p.m., Tuesdays 1:10 p.m.
Ever wondered what happens before the lights come on? Before the crowd pours in? Before the magic hits the stage? This is your all-access pass. Sneak Peek with Junior K takes you behind the scenes of the biggest cultural moments and the hottest events across TNT. From the sound checks to the stage setups, from final rehearsals to exclusive interviews. If it's about to be big, we're already there. Catch Sneak Peek airing daily on TTT and relive every moment on all our social media platforms. Sneak Peek with Junior K, where the story starts before the spotlight.
It sounds like a paradox, entering the wet season yet preparing for a drought, but that is the exact reality facing Tobago as the 2026 Atlantic hurricane season begins. Weather experts at the Met Office say a developing El Niño pattern is creating a unique set of challenges for the sister Isle. On one hand, it is suppressing major storm activity in our immediate vicinity. On the other hand, it is choking off the rainfall Tobago desperately needs. Between dry skies, hazy Saharan dust layers, and overheated oceans causing an explosion of sargassum seaweed on our beaches, Tobago's climate outlook is anything but ordinary this year. Well, joining us to explain how these moving parts connect and what they mean for our daily lives is meteorologist 2, Travis Gardner. Good morning, Travis, and welcome to the show.
Hi, pleasant good morning. Thanks for having me here this morning.
Now, Travis, the TTMS recently announced that we have a nearly 50% chance of a below normal hurricane season in our immediate area of interest, with only about 3 named storms expected nearby. Now, that sounds like good news, but at the same time, the Met Office has also issued a warning that Tobago is facing an impending drought. Help us to understand this morning how we could be entering the wet or hurricane season while simultaneously bracing for a drought.
Okay, so yes, you are correct. The Met Service, we would have had our Outlook Forum, the wet season Outlook Forum, on the 21st of May earlier this year. And that's a platform we use to announce to our stakeholders and the public what we're expecting for either the wet season or the dry season. So during that forum, we would have announced that yes, due to the climatic factors that we are seeing, we are expecting to have a average to below average hurricane season. But because of factors that we are seeing, we are also expecting some drought-like conditions in certain parts of the country, including Tobago. So you did mention the El Nino Southern Oscillation, and that is one of the key players or the key factors during our wet and hurricane season. So that is one of the things that the climate section of the Met Service always looks for, to know what phase it will be in, to know what to expect for Trinidad and Tobago. So the El Nino Southern Oscillation, for those who want to get a better understanding, it's a natural occurring circulation that involves the ocean temperatures and the atmospheric circulation. And based on the phase of the El Nino Southern Oscillation, you either have the El Nino phase or the warm phase, where we have warmer global temperatures. You have the cooler phase or the La Nina, and you have the neutral phase, what we are in currently. However, what the climate section of the Met Service is seeing based on analysis, because we would be analyzing the climate here in Trinidad and Tobago and our region for a number of years, we are seeing that it is expected to go into the El Nino phase from July, and it's supposed to last until the rest of the year. So seeing that that is expected and we know what to expect when that happens, we are saying that, okay, we are going to be in the warm phase. And usually when that happens, you have a lack of cyclonic formation, a lack of convection, a lot of warm temperatures, a lot of wind shear in the atmosphere. Then that tends to break up storms as they try to develop. Hence, they would have given the prediction for a less active season in our area. And then what that does also, the warm temperatures, it creates a drought-like condition in certain areas. Now, you mentioned the drought-like conditions in Tobago. Let me say that this is not something new. Last year, around November, I would have been a part of a consultation in the Kuala area where the Chief Secretary was present, where WASA would have invited us as some of the key stakeholders to come and help the public to understand why they're not getting water. So persons in that area of the island were complaining of the lack of water. And WASA basically had to have the Met Service say, hey, we are not getting the amount of rainfall we need to supply you guys with water. So that would have been November last year, which was the end of the wet season. And from then until now, we haven't received a sufficient amount of water to see that, okay, we are seeing improvement. And from November last year, we would have went into the dry season. The Met Service would have declared the dry season on the 8th of January earlier this year. And you know, during the dry season, we're not expecting a lot of rainfall. However, in January, we actually had a lot of rainfall here in Tobago. We had close to 150 millimeter here at our Crown Point station, and February wasn't bad as well. However, from April onwards, it's been extremely dry on the island, especially here in the Crown Point area. In fact, this month of May, we are heading into breaking a record here in Tobago. So the driest May on record here, since we are collecting data since the 90s, is in 2015 with 5.3 millimeter. Currently, today is the 28th of May. We have a few more days to the end of the month, and we only have 2.2 millimeter of rainfall recorded for the month of May this year. So unless we see a serious uptick in rainfall over the next few days, which I don't have in my forecast, we are gonna, this year is gonna break the record for the driest May we have since we have been recording data here in Tobago in Crown Point. So that is why the El Nino Southern Oscillation is one of the main factors. You can see how it's gonna help to depress or suppress some of the hurricane or cyclonic development, but at the same time, given that we were already extremely dry since last year, and what we're expecting this year, you can see why the Met Service is saying, okay, Tobago is definitely going to see some drought-like conditions.
Now, Travis, we're experiencing punishing daily temperatures on land, but the ocean temperatures surrounding Tobago are also exceptionally high. So how is this sea surface heat directly contributing to what scientists are predicting will be a record-breaking bloom year for sargassum seaweed in the region?
Well, the sargassum seaweed is quickly becoming one of the main issues we have here on the island of Tobago, right? We have had a few consultations with the Tobago Emergency Management Agency in terms of they utilizing the Met Service to help them determine or help them to know when the seaweed will be coming on our shores, right? For those who don't know, the sargassum seaweed, it's a floating brown algae that spreads out like a mat over the ocean, right? And it comes ashore. It has a very bad smell associated with it. As it decomposes, it releases some gases that is very harmful for both humans and animals. It can affect pregnant women. And we are in the Caribbean. We have beautiful beaches, and what it's doing to our beaches is it is really affecting our tourism industry. It's not just here in Tobago, it's affected the other islands. My colleagues in Grenada, Barbados, etc. have complained about the issue as well. So it is not something that is only affected us. Now, yes, we are expecting to get an uptick in the amount of sargassum seaweed coming on our shores, right? But the reason for that being is there is a sargasso sea that is located to the northwestern area of the Atlantic. And usually we would get some seaweed coming into the Caribbean region from there. But what happened actually is around 2011, and scientists links it to human pollution. So this is how the activities of human beings come back to haunt us. So because of human pollution, the Sargasso Sea has actually overflown. And it has actually formed a second sea closer to us here in the Caribbean. So in the wet season, you always hear the Met Service say when we are declaring the start of the wet season is usually because of the passage of a tropical wave or rainfall from the ITCZ, Intertropical Convergence Zone. That is one of the things that move over Trinidad and causes a lot of rainfall during the wet season. Well, it just so happened that a second sargassum sea is forming near the ITCZ. And guess what? ITCZ is near the equator, where it gets a lot of heat energy throughout the year. So when you have that heat energy being pumped into that second Sargasso Sea, they have the energy to give blooms throughout the year, which is what we are now seeing since 2011. And added to that, persons need to understand that these things are all connected: land, ocean, atmosphere, sea. So you have the second Sargasso Sea forming near the ITCZ, so it's getting the heat energy. And then now you also have the Saharan dust in the atmosphere. Now, what the Saharan dust does, it deposits nutrients into the sargassum as it is developing. So it's getting nutrients from above, it is getting heat from below, and hence you see that sargassum seaweed washing up on our shores. It is very expensive to remove from the beaches. It's causing a serious problem for our tourism industry. And I can tell you, just like the hurricane season, you know the hurricane season is about to start on 1st of June and it runs until the 30th of November with a peak between August to October. Well, the reason for that peak is because as you move deeper into the year, closer to the summer, you're getting warmer ocean temperatures. So guess what? As the ocean temperature warms up to give the storms or potential hurricanes energy, so too is going to give the sargassum seaweed energy because that also feeds off that heat energy. So yeah, as we go into deeper into the hurricane season, you're going to see more sargassum seaweed. So we don't just have to prepare for what's coming above with the hurricanes. We now also have to be looking at our oceans to see when the sargassum seaweed is going to be coming in. And the Met Service, we have some products and services that we are working on so that we'll be able to help the TEMA and the Tobago House of Assembly fight that hazard that is now affecting Tobago.
Travis, briefly before we wrap up, now even in a quiet, localized hurricane season, it only takes one system to really cause devastation. And of course, a drought brings in a slow-moving disaster. So what is your brief bit of advice now to Tobagonians today regarding water conservation on one hand and hurricane preparedness on the other hand?
Okay. You see that word quiet hurricane season is a term we try to stay away from because it tends to give the citizens the wrong idea. Yes, we are saying we are expecting a less active hurricane season this year, but I like to remind persons of what took place with Beryl in 2024 right here in Tobago. We didn't get a direct hit, but it caused close to $600,000 in damages for the island. And we could look at Melissa in Jamaica last year. So the point being that it only takes one of these storms or one of these hurricanes to cause serious damage in our small Caribbean territories. Now remember, Trinidad and Tobago is in the hurricane belt, and Tobago is north of Trinidad, so we are even at a greater risk. So I want to urge persons, even if you're not expecting 15 storms, it could just take that one to cause the devastation or to cause us serious havoc. And persons need to remember that a lot of persons think of hurricanes and they only think of the wind. You need to think of the water. Storm surge is a serious problem and we are on an island. So we need to make sure that we accelerate our preparedness. In preparation for what is to come, the Met Service, we have started consultations with our stakeholders. So we have gotten the different stakeholders in the room, be it WASA, T&TEC, Airport Authority, and we are ensuring that ourselves, along with these key stakeholders, are prepared. We call that phase one. So we had consultations in Trinidad, had some here in Tobago. TIMA even had one on Monday where we again sat down and made sure everybody's on the same page, and who is not fully prepared is getting prepared. Phase two is getting the citizens on the island prepared. So I myself and the Met Service here in Tobago, we take part in a campaign called the Make Tobago a Hard Target campaign alongside TIMA and the County Medical Office of Health, where we go around to different divisions and different youth camps, making sure that persons are aware of what is your evacuation plan. Do you know where the shelter is, if needs be? Do you have a plan with your kids? If they need to, what numbers do they need to call? Do you know your emergency numbers? So we take it on ourselves to ensure that we go out every year and sensitize the public on these main information that they need to know. Like I said, since last year, we know that we have the problem with the issues with the water. It's especially bad in the southwestern part of the island. So Canaan, Bonaparte, Crown Point. So you need to be your brothers and your sisters' keeper. When you're not using water, turn off the pipes. Don't use your water to wash cars, etc., because we have to conserve, seeing what we are going to be dealing with. And most importantly, make sure you're getting your information from the official sources. The Met Service, we have a website, we have social media pages, we have a mobile app, you have ODPM, you have TIMA. There is so many places you can get the right information. During this time of year, persons like to also put out misinformation, so make sure you're getting your information from the official source, and let us work with one another to see that we can make Tobago and Trinidad and Tobago safe this hurricane season.
All right, thank you very much, Travis, for joining us this morning and helping us prepare for this season ahead. Have a great day.
You too.
All right. Talking all about that entrance into the wet season, yet we're preparing for a drought. Well, that's the reality of the weather these days. 7:22, we take a break and come back with more on Tobago Thursday.
Since 1972, one sound has been living in the heart of Trinidad and Tobago, the longest running radio station in the nation.
We're your holiday soundtrack, whether it's on your day off, long drives, or house limes. We are always sweet.
This is music with meaning, music with memories.
Music that feels like home.
And it's not just the songs, it's the voices you trust, personalities you've grown with.
Laughter that sounds familiar.
This isn't just radio, it's tradition.
It's memories. It's part of who we are.
Sweet 100.1 FM, the rhythm of our identity, part of your family.
Always 100, guide you on your way. Sweet 100.
Every client deserves expertise, integrity, and guidance they can trust. At Camino Realty International, we deliver integrated real estate solutions, sales, rentals, property management, and project development. Driven by excellence, transparency, and innovation, we protect value, create opportunity, and build lasting success. Because real estate isn't just about buildings. For more information on our services, log on to CaminoRealty.com or follow us on social media at Camino Realty TT. Camino Realty International, elevating lives one property at a time.
क्या बात करता है यार? गणपति ने तेरे सामने आके तुझसे बात की? और नहीं तो क्या? गणपति जी मेरे सामने आए और मेरे कान में बोले कि अजय, अगर तू अपनी मम्मी को खुश देखना चाहता है तो आज ही अपने डैडी के स्टूडियो जा, उनका हाथ पकड़ और उनसे अपनी मम्मी की शादी के बारे में बात कर। बाकी सब मैं संभाल लूंगा। वो सब संभाल सकते हैं यार, वो तो भगवान है, कुछ भी कर सकते हैं। इसीलिए तो मैं फिर सनम माना, और लो मैं प्यार तेरा, पहन लो मैं प्यार तेरा, फिर सनम माना, हो इससे पहले नहीं, ठहरे रहना वहीं, आ जाना, अभी नहीं, जब मैं
TTT News every night at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
I'm Zena James with your weather update. Expect a mix of haze, sunshine, and a few showers as upper-level moisture and dry air continues across our islands. Strong low-level winds will keep any rainfall activity brief in nature. Although it will be dull, temperatures could still climb to 33 degrees in Trinidad and 32 degrees in Tobago. At sea, nearshore conditions will be affected by spring tides, where tidal levels will be exaggerated, especially around high tide. Otherwise, conditions will remain on the higher end of moderate in open waters, with occasionally choppy conditions in sheltered areas, so caution is advised across the waters.
Thank you very much, Zaina James, for that weather update. Continuing with Tobago Thursday, it is a daily routine familiar to thousands of commuters across Trinidad and Tobago. Standing at a terminal or a bus stop, looking at your watch and simply hoping that the bus arrives on time. But a brilliant young tech mind from Tobago is using artificial intelligence and smart engineering to completely eliminate that waiting game. He has developed a groundbreaking mobile app designed to let passengers track PTSE buses in real time and also purchase their commuter tickets instantly from their smartphones. Joining us now all the way from Brooklyn to share his vision on this game-changing platform is the app's creator, Nekalan Ned. Nekalan, good morning and welcome to the show.
Hi, good morning. I love the introduction, I must say. Thanks for having me on.
Well, congratulations on this, and this is such great work, and it's very innovative as well. So thank you for this. It's something we all appreciate. And frustration with bus schedules and waiting in uncertainty is really something, Nekalan, that almost every commuter can relate to. So what was that personal aha moment for you, that experience that you had that made you decide, hey, I need to build an app to fix this?
Okay, so firstly, there wasn't necessarily a direct aha moment, but there was a big lead up to this moment, right? And I would like to start with me growing up in Trinidad and Tobago. I grew up in Lansfome, which is the countryside of Tobago, as everyone knows. The bus on that side of the country is very unreliable at times. So moving from there, in 2016, my dad actually got into a bus accident on October the 10th, right? It was a gruesome bus accident. He haven't even officially recovered over the time. So After that, in 2024, I actually had the opportunity to do a internship at the MTA in Brooklyn, New York. Sadly, I didn't get to go through with it due to, like just like scheduling issues. But the lead up to that, I was hyper focusing on like the whole system and the buses and the trains and how they do everything, because going into our internship you don't want to be unprepared, because you want to leave a little mark so that they can contact you further. And I think it's from that obsessive event that led me into just saying like, hey, like why not do something like this for Trinidad and Tobago, because at that point I was like 6 months deep into doing research and everything before going into the internship. So at that moment, I think everything kind of made sense. But overall, I think it's destiny. I honestly think it's destiny that I'm the person bringing this piece of technology to the table. But most of all, I would like to thank the team at NVIDIA AI, because it wasn't something that, like me, like I alone just like sit in a room and just build this thing, because it's not only an app, it's full infrastructure from the passenger side to the driver side, and also to a dashboard that helps the PTSC crunch the data.
Wow, that is really interesting, and I agree with you. This was really meant for you to do, and everything came together. Now, your application addresses two major pain points. So simultaneously, that is. So there's real-time tracking, and there's also digital ticket purchasing. So walk us through that user experience now. So if I'm sitting home in Crown Point, maybe Scarborough, how does this app help me to plan my morning commute step by step?
Okay, so firstly, on screen we have the app. On the right hand side, there's the time which says 11 minutes. And once we click that, there's a pop-up that shows every single schedule for the day. So for instance, let's say you're living on the Scarborough to Crown Point route, it shows every single time slot for that day. And there will be from the morning, it will automatically update, because what we are doing is collecting data, tracking that data, and automatically updating the schedules every single day, right? So what that does is help the user plan their day around the entire app, rather than waiting hour to hour for constant updates. They can see, okay, the 6:30 is scheduled, the 7:30 is scheduled, but the 8:30 may be cancelled, the 9:30 may be delayed, and that just tracks throughout the entire day. I would say due to faulty fleet, there still may be cancellations throughout the day, but the whole idea is to try to capture the data from the PTSC side and from the passenger side, and make it as efficient as possible for both parties, right? Because it's a two-way street. But overall, users will be able to plan an entire day around the PTSC service.
That's definitely amazing. I'm very impressed by all of this, Nicolin. And of course, on the screen, we've been seeing how the app operates. So hopefully people get a feel of that. Now, moving from traditional physical tickets to a completely digital ticketing and mobile wallet system is really a huge cultural shift for Trinidad and Tobago. I'm sure you'd agree. So can you tell us now what security or encryption protocols you may have built into the platform, if any, to ensure, maybe financial data or digital transactions are safe? Because that might be a concern for some people.
Definitely. That's a great question, actually. And what the team at NVIDIA AI did was we actually doubled down on the whole security aspect of it. Just kind of like starting from one, which is the user doesn't need a profile to be able to use the wallet, right? That is one thing. So, and then like users can also make a profile, right? So we just put in the profile thing out of the way, so users can just download and go, right? Other than that, we encrypted the QR code, right? State-of-the-art encryption. So no one would know what is going into the backend to avoid PHP injection or, just any sort of hacking. there is a color code around the QR code, right? And that isn't just a fancy design or we just like put it there. That color around the QR code actually verifies the color for the hour. So for instance, the color changes randomly every single hour. So if a user comes into the bus and shows the QR code to the camera, the driver would see the color on their side, which is supposed to be, I don't know, purple, yellow, green. And if it doesn't reflect the passenger side, that means that there may be some sort of manipulation or some sort of faulty business going on there, right? Our next big take on it also is that there is a 5-minute window to scan the QR code, right? Since the QR code is generated, it can be generated offline and online, so users doesn't need any sort of like data to make the payments because it's Trinidad and Tobago where data isn't always available. Users can just walk onto the bus and instantly type in how much they want to pay, and it automatically generates a fresh QR code. And once that is scanned, it cannot be scanned again. It needs to be regenerated. So we definitely took immense measures to make this happen.
Yeah, well, congrats again, Nekalan. Before you go, I want you to talk to the young Tobagonians this morning, Trinbagonians as well, who may be passionate about coding or software development, even tech innovation. What would you say to them? They have an idea, but they don't know. Should I do this? Is it too big of an idea? Would people actually buy into this idea? And you've had incredible success by just being able to take that leap of faith now. So what would you say to that person?
The first thing I would tell them is if they want to go fast, go alone. But if they want to go far, go with a team. And as a youth growing up, because this is from personal experience, as a youth, we tend to feel invincible and it's like, hey, this is my idea and I want to build my idea. And we don't like workshopping these ideas. And what that does is something that could have been phenomenal or great with a team, just coming together and just workshopping the idea and making it better. You're all alone in a corner making something that shouldn't even exist in the first place, So I would say get a team of like-minded people, right? And just like go for it. Do the necessary research because research is very important. Everything moving forward I would say from like 2010 should be data driven. Every decision should be made from extensive research, right? So don't just wake up a day and be like, oh, hey, I have a bright idea and just run off and go do it because it would be wasting time and resources. Definitely do the research, get a great team and make it happen.
Nekalan, is the app available for download for Trinbagonians and how can we find that?
So as of now, we're still in the pilot stage and I'm currently working to be able to send it out as a pilot. From the passenger side, we would have 500 open slots where 500 testers can come on board, and I want to send it to people in high places like the chief of Trinidad and Tobago, the general manager of PTSC, and just like a bunch of people in high places and also regular testers who are very interested in this, because when I posted this video, it's currently at 105,000 views on Facebook, which was it shocked us, at NVideo AI. And it was something where it's like, hey, we need to double down on this, right? Because the first response is that we thought that people would have been like, oh yeah, like that's cool. But the way people gravitated to this and started pushing us, it propelled us into the stratosphere. And we're just using that momentum to put our name out there. The company is nvideo.ai on Instagram and Facebook. We're just trying to push that out there to be able to partner with the correct people to make this happen.
Thank you very much, Nekalan, for spending the time with us, telling us all about this new bus rides app. Have a good day and we'll talk to you soon.
Have a good day as well.
All right. We're looking out for that app. Keep your your eyes on that one. That's definitely going to be game changing. Well, we take another break, and when we come back, we get ready to link up today with Sweet 100.1 FM.
Tobago Carnival is turning 5 and the awakening begins live this Friday, 29th May from 7 p.m. Tune in to TTT and TTT Live online on YouTube and Facebook for the official launch of Tobago Carnival 2026. The Awakening, live from Pigeon Point Heritage Park. Experience the rhythm, the steel pan, the mass, and explosive performances from Tobago Soca Titans, Calypso Monarch Champions, and more. The official launch of Tobago Carnival 2026, Friday, 29th May from 7 p.m. live on TTT and at TTT Live online. This is mud, mass, and music. This is Awakening.
Being connected, it means a lot because, first of all, you can't do this by yourself.
When you have your phone, you always have somebody at your side. I could call for help, anything going like,
You know, I'm giving children the opportunity to experience outside of their neighborhood.
Digicel is kind of a comfort, you feel good that people in your lives are always able to be contacted.
I was with the other network and I was having problems, so I joined Digicel and I never regretted it.
Every client deserves expertise, integrity, and guidance they can trust. At Camino Realty International, we deliver integrated real estate solutions, sales, rentals, property management, and project development. Driven by excellence, transparency, and innovation, we protect value, create opportunity, and build lasting success. Because real estate isn't just about buildings. For more information on our services, log on to CaminoRealty.com or follow us on social media at Camino Realty TT. Camino Realty International, elevating lives one property at a time.
TTT News every night at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
Ever wondered what happens before the lights come on? Before the crowd pours in? Before the magic hits the stage? This is your all-access pass. Sneak Peek with Junior K takes you behind the scenes of the biggest cultural moments and the hottest events across TNT. From the sound checks to the stage setups, from final rehearsals to exclusive interviews. If it's about to be big, we're already there. Catch Sneak Peek airing daily on TTT and relive every moment on all our social media platforms. Sneak Peek with Junior K, where the story starts before the spotlight.
All right, you know what we do on Thursdays. We take a quick moment now to connect with our friends over on Sweet 100.1 FM. This is a link up where we bridge that space between TV and radio and just check in to see what's happening on the other side.
Night and day.
Today, good morning. This is the link up with Sweet 100.1 FM.
Good morning. Oh my goodness, is that Mark?
Look who it is. Hi, morning. Good morning
Welcome
to you. How
back,
you doing?
Mark. We missed you.
Yes.
Hi, Nick. How are you?
Thank you very
Good
much.
morning. How are you doing this morning?
I
It's good
am
to be
so
here.
relieved for you because I realized that your co-host has finally decided to come back from his cruise. I think he went on some Mediterranean cruise, and it was apparently 2 months long. And he was touring with Shansia. I heard all about it.
Wow. It was a good trip. It was a good trip. And we're looking forward to invite you to the next one also. Nicholas said he had a couple of commitments. He couldn't make it, but he's going on the next one. So we'll make it a bigger line.
Okay. And then
next time around,
none of us would be here on the screen on Thursday.
Don't worry, we'll have to do some recordings then maybe and put
I
something
feel
in
so.
place.
Well, we
have
missed
to do
you.
something.
We hope that you missed us just as much.
Of course. And it's good to be missed. And, I missed seeing, hearing, and of course, chatting with you on a Thursday morning. And of course, once again, we have to mention the good job that Virmala has been doing.
Great job, great job.
Have to mention.
Thank you, guys. And you all do such a wonderful job as well. And I really do enjoy us being able to really, coincide here in the space, because our viewers get to hear you and your listeners get to hear me.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And what we've been talking about, because I know you're going to ask, what we've been chatting about this morning is football and basketball.
Yeah.
Football and basketball.
Any
Basketball
arguments? And is anybody arguing?
Nicholas is a Knicks fan. I am really a Los Angeles Lakers fan, but my team is not there. But I'm backing the San Antonio Spurs to go to the finals. We're down. I'm jumping on board now. We're down. We're down.
Bandwagon
3.
is...
Not bandwagon is, but my team is out. I said my team is out.
Okay.
Right? And for Knicks, they're going to have to go up against a West team. It's actually going to be a West team winning this year in the NBA once again. Let me hear you.
That's not going to happen.
I'm telling you.
The Knicks haven't lost since April 23rd. Not one game. Your team is struggling. Your team is down. So the team that you're backing to win it all is
like
not
I'm in
even
the
in the
middle
lead.
of this conversation.
Wemby all the way. Wemby all the way. Wemby all the way. I'm telling you.
Virmala, sorry I had to endure this morning.
No, it's okay. I honestly feel like I'm sitting in the middle of you both, and I'm just like, come on, guys, play nicely.
I also want to mention that I'm a South man. You're a Central lady.
Yeah.
Big up to Central, big up to South. And, I made a big mistake. I told Nicholas I bonked my head. I used to play, when Club Sando came on the scene, now they're in the it's CONCACAF.
Yeah.
Club Sando is my old football team. I should have stayed playing football.
Oh, my goodness.
Now today, you should have seen Club Sando now. I mean, they're missing me.
Virmala,
I believe by next week I'm going to recall.
Virmala,
Virmala,
he's under the belief that he can still go and play, and he wants to go and train to go. I don't know
Nicholas,
what level of delusion that we're experiencing today.
What do the young
Mark
people
is under the
say?
belief
They
that
say
he's
delusion.
going to play.
I losing weight. I am telling you.
Because he tucking his shirt this morning,
Listen to me,
he
Mark.
he could go and play football.
Mark, I believe in you. Mark, I believe in you.
Look at it. Look at it.
I completely believe in you, and I'm backing you 100%. And I will come and cheerlead for that team if you are playing for that team. I just want to say that.
I am telling you. See, he doesn't have confidence. He does not have confidence.
Well,
he never kick a lime in his life,
Confidence is everything.
He never kick a lime.
I feel like I really just intruded on this argument. But you know what? Before we go, I understand that it's also Reggae Thursday. Nick, I want to tell you, I listened to that Kes and the Genius song, Masterpiece, and it is really good.
Told you. Told you.
It's good.
Song.
So I trust your judgment when it comes to music, guys. Thank you very much for that.
Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you, and have a wonderful one. And Mark, don't leave us again to go on a cruise. Nick really cried. He was very upset. Every Thursday he would just say, I don't know, where is my partner? He left me.
No. Man cruising the globe. Leave man cruise the globe.
Wait, before I go, did you bring us a figurine?
Even bring back a Bennett ball.
Did you bring a figurine for the shelf in suite?
Oh yes, the jazz man is up there. I just have to put some batteries in it.
All right. Well, the jazz man stood in your place when you were not here, so he filled in for you. All right, guys.
At least, thank you very much.
Have a wonderful day. We'll talk to you next Thursday.
Have a good day. Bye-bye.
All right, take care. That was the link up with Nicholas and Mark on Sweet 100.1 FM.
Night and day.
Today, good morning, Space.
This is the link up with Sweet 100.1 FM.
Early prostate cancer has absolutely no signs or symptoms, and that's why we strongly push the men once a year, get out there and get screened with a digital rectal examination and a PSA, prostate-specific antigen, a blood test. Any PSA above 4 is abnormal. All men, once they hit 40 years of age, go and have that PSA test done.
Be viewing Caribbean Medical TV on this station.
I'm Jamila Bannister, host of the Socially Safe podcast, the new TTPS podcast where we share real stories, teach real lessons, and create real impact. From online safety and youth crime to community policing and personal responsibility, we go beyond the headlines and talk about what's happening in our communities with the officers and experts who are on the front lines. Because safety starts with awareness, conversation, and action. Tune in to the Socially Safe podcast on the TTPS YouTube channel, listen on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. Don't miss it.
Watch on TTT, Mondays 6 p.m., Tuesdays 1:10 p.m.
Unleash your imagination with TTT's terrific Toon Time. Join us as we stop evil geniuses from taking over the world from Super Z. Or hop on board for a journey into outer space with Galaxy Kids. Be a part of our quest to save the forests alongside our robot pals from Bugs Bot Ignition. Or let's go exploring with Duda and Dada. Catch terrific Toon Time weekdays at 4:15 p.m. and Saturdays from 9 a.m. It's fun-filled adventure with terrific Toon Time right here on TTT.
Best lagi? Wala कितना का? This one is only 1,31,900 rupees. क्या बात कर रहे हो यार? 1,31,900 रुपए का फोन? इतने में तो हमारे यहाँ एक शादी, 2 मुंडन और पूरे मोहल्ले के बच्चों का हैप्पी बर्थडे हो जाता है। वो भी ऑर्केस्ट्रा के साथ।
The Emancipation Support Committee of Trinidad and Tobago, in collaboration with the Ministry of Culture and Community Development, is preparing for Ewa Africa 2026, a production that blends fashion, performance, and cultural storytelling in a powerful celebration of African identity and expression. Directed by renowned creative visionary Richard Young, this year's presentation carries the theme "A Flair for Freedom, a Fashion Odyssey." Well, he's with me in studio to tell us a little bit more. We had a conversation just a few days ago, but of course we're continuing that now. Good morning, Richard.
Morning again.
So this morning we're talking all about the talent that is going to be infused in this event. And I know that's a huge part of it because you are aiming for this holistic experience. So let's talk about that now.
Yeah, well, usually every year, this is the 5th year, every year I kind of mix the talents up. We would have had Three Canal, we would have had Black Lyrics, we would have had Charmaine Ford, we would have had Vonnet, Big Fud, we would have had Terry Lyons. Over the years, I dynamized the show with a new flavor. This year, I'm returning to Vonnet Big Fud. She's headlining our cast, but we have Abijola Richardson, who is a percussionist as well as a singer, and she's bringing a beautiful blend here. There's Wasafuli Performing Company, which comes with about 25 or 30 drummers and dancers and singers. Then there is the Twin Inc., which is Dion and Eon Batiste, they're dancers. And then I have storytelling done by Conrad Paris and Abio Jackson. So it's a fertile cross-section of talent. So it's about storytelling, it's dance, it's poetry, it's performance art, it's everything. And that is interspliced through the fashion. So when the performers are doing their performance pieces, fashion still goes on, So I give them a little moment. So Vonnet sings a song for herself, and then she sings another song, and she's outfitted by a designer that she's leading. So we fuse the talent and the design elements to make a thing. Echo. These two girls, I went to a show the other day. They have the most beautifully harmonious, melodic voices. I can't even believe it. It is almost like if it is an instrument. So I included them, and this is Abijola, this lady here. And so I think you're going to be thoroughly entertained, and you're also going to be it's a visual feast in terms of the creative excellence of the fashion designers that we have, because we have a plethora of them. And so every element of surface treatment and design elements are going to be used. So there's no repeat. There's Vonette in her glorious self, and she is going to be there. She always loves doing the show. Yeah, we have 20 designers, 75 models, ranging from 14 to 75, sizes 0 to about 14. So it's really all inclusive. It's men and women. And so people can actually get their pieces that they want to wear down at Emancipation Time. So that's why I've pulled the show up. So the show is early for you to be able to forecast what you're going to wear at Emancipation Time. And I really promote what I call an Afro-Caribbean identity, because I don't necessarily need it to be specifically continental Africa. I want to promote what Caribbean people are doing. We are bringing in a designer from Guyana, Sonia Noel. She's celebrating 30 years. I was just there 2 weeks ago to launch her celebration, and she's coming over to continue her celebration. She's doing a world tour, and we have 2 Ghanaian designers, and we actually have a designer coming in from New York who specializes in African wear. So it's really bringing a Pan-African diasporic flavor to African style, and it's all happening at Queen's Hall on June 7th. And TTT is our partner, and you're going to be getting an edited version of it shown down at the month of July, just in time for Emancipation.
All right, so this is on June 7th. So that's just what, a week or 2 weeks away?
Yes, just not this weekend, next weekend. So.
And how can we be part of this for our viewers this morning? Well, to get tickets?
Well, you can get tickets at the Emancipation House, which is on Bergerac Road in Maraval. You can call into the office. I don't have the number offhand right now. Sorry about that. And but look it up, it's there. And most of the designers are carrying tickets. And well, we just had our early bird close off just last 2 days or so, but tickets go at 300 and 350. And I think you need to get them, because every year we have increased our numbers at the in the hall. And last year we reached 600, and we're aiming to reach the 700 mark this year.
Wow. Well, Richard, we cannot wait for that. We know we will be hearing more from you as the event comes up. We can't wait to see all of that talent. And as I said, that holistic experience that you are planning for us. So we can't wait to see what you have in store.
Thanks for having me. It's going to be a wonderful show.
I know it will. Thank you so much. That's Richard Young. And of course, thank you to everyone being part of Today Tobago Thursday on TTT. And of course, all the guests, we learned all about that bus rides app that is coming. That is something to keep your eyes on. Also, the launch of Tobago Carnival, it is taking place tomorrow. White waste collection in Tobago. How can you get rid of all your white waste, and what exactly is white waste? And also, we heard from a meteorologist telling us about the drought and, of course, the rainy season. If it sounds like a paradox, it really isn't. That's just the reality of how things are going these days with the weather. And of course, we got a weather update from Zena James today. We see you tomorrow, where we do this all over again. Now, tomorrow we have a very special Indian Arrival Day show. We can't wait to show you what we've prepared for you. So be here at 6 o'clock sharp tomorrow morning, where we do this all over again, but in a very special kind of way. It is the celebration of Indian Arrival Day on Trinidad and Tobago today. Thanks so much to the team, always pulling things together and doing such a great job. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Bestie लगी वाला कितना का? This one is only 1,31,900 rupees. ये क्या बात कर रहे हो यार? 1,31,900 रुपए का फोन? इतने में तो हमारे यहाँ एक शादी, 2 मुंडन और पूरे मोहल्ले के बच्चों का हैप्पी बर्थडे हो जाता है। वो भी ऑर्केस्ट्रा के साथ।
क्या बात करता है यार? गणपति ने तेरे सामने आके तुझसे बात की? और नहीं तो क्या, गणपति जी मेरे सामने आए और मेरे कान में बोले कि अजय, अगर तू अपनी मम्मी को खुश देखना चाहता है तो आज ही अपने डैडी के स्टूडियो जा, उनका हाथ पकड़ और उनसे अपनी मम्मी की शादी के बारे में बात कर, बाकी सब मैं संभाल लूंगा। वो सब संभाल सकते हैं यार, वो तो भगवान है, कुछ भी कर सकते हैं। इसीलिए तो मैं फिर सनम माना, फिर सनम माना, ओ इससे पहले नहीं, ठहरे रहना वहीं, आ जाना अभी नहीं, जब मैं
Unleash your imagination with TTT's Terrific Toon Time. Join us as we stop evil geniuses from taking over the world on Super Z, or hop on board for a journey into outer space with Galaxy Kids. Be a part of our quest to save the forest alongside our robot pals from Bugspot Ignition. Or let's go exploring with Duda and Dada. It's fun-filled adventure with Terrific Toon Time right here on TTT.
Good morning, this is your TTT News Update. I'm Carrie Roberts. Making the news at this time. One of Tobago's largest events is its Carnival celebrations, which will take place from October 27th to 29th. The Tobago Festivals Commission CEO, Kern Cowan, indicated that the body has been hard at work promoting the event.
We, of course, unveiled in a National Carnival in Trinidad working with Spirit Mass and different other mass elements and even into the various events. This year, once we launch, we take it to the roads. So we do have different promotions that we are doing in New York, Toronto, right back into Trinidad and across the region.
Mr. Cowan noted that a key logistics challenge will be moving visitors to the island efficiently, adding that the Commission is working with the national airline to improve travel arrangements.
We have been having very intense dialogue with Caribbean Airlines just this week here. We were really working out our what we call our airlift plan and what our seat capacity can really move to. And one of the things I really try to lament with Caribbean Airlines is that the Carnival is a season and it starts from October 1st and goes all the way down to November 6th. Because we want people here early and we want people here staying as long as possible.
Themed The Awakening, Tobago Carnival celebrates the event's 5 years of culture, music, and mass. In other news, unit holders voiced strong satisfaction at the Unit Trust Corporation's annual general meeting on Wednesday, where the UTC announced it had paid an impressive $659 million in distributions, marking a 33% increase compared to the previous year. The significant growth was welcomed by investors who expressed confidence in the organization's performance and its continued ability to deliver strong returns.
None of the achievements reflected in this year's report happened by accident. And they didn't happen as a result of a single person. They're made possible through the dedication and professionalism of the men and women you see sitting in front here.
Mr. Edwards also emphasized that the UTC's primary focus remains delivering value to its unit holders.
Only objective is to get that into the hands of our unit holders. That's the very reason that the Unit Trust Corporation exists. And so the kind of responses that we've been getting, it's overwhelming. People are extraordinarily happy with A, the returns on their income funds, and B, they're also excited at the prospect of what the next 12 months will hold.
The UTC also reported strong financial gains, with investment income rising to $1.3 billion for 2025, more than double the previous year, while profit after tax climbed 80% to $35 million. In some sport now, speaking on the CONCACAF Caribbean Cup draw, Trinidad and Tobago senior men's head coach Derek King expressed his desire to see the return of regional tournament success for TNT clubs. The draw placed Trinidad and Tobago Premier Football League champions Defence Force FC and Club Sando in Group A.
I saw one of my my player I coach, and is somebody that I always, work with, Denzel Table, and he said, it's the best teams that, competing for the Caribbean bargain rights. And I think it's very important that, the players there, that we could start back winning those competitions, because we had equality, the level stepped up. You're seeing the Jamaica teams, the teams from Dominican Republic. But I think, it's important that we go there and we give it our best.
And that was your TTT News Update. I'm Carrie Roberts. From all of us here, have a great day.
Every morning begins with a story. The headlines you need. The voices you trust. The conversations shaping our nation.